Hi, and welcome back to the mat with me. My name is Kyra, and today I'm going to be guiding you through a yoga class for a stressful day. I'm going to invite you to grab one block. If you don't have a block, you could use a pillow, you could use a rolled up blanket. That is going to be for a supported posture we're coming into. If you do like to have a block there to support you in bringing the earth a little bit closer in some of the stretching postures, then a blanket or a pillow might not work, but you can grab anything that will elevate the earth that you can find a little bit of support on by placing some of your weight, something a little more stable. I've linked a playlist in the description if you want to listen to music alongside this practice, and let's get into it. So I'm going to have you started seated today. And if sitting on your bolster or your pillow or your block, whatever prop that you do have, feels supportive, you can of course place your seat bones there. Otherwise, just grounding down into your mat. Whatever comfortable seat feels best for you. If that's cross-legged, amazing. If it's something else, beautiful. So you might have your hands on the tops of the knees, palms facing down or palms facing open. Eyes can close if that feels safe for you. Shoulders can drop away from the ears. Let them soften. Maybe reaching through the crown of the head a little bit more towards the sky. And let's start off by deepening the breath. Take a nice big inhale through the nose. And an exhale through the mouth. A few more clearing breaths just like that. Big inhale. Big sigh. And again, just like that, big breath in. Big sigh, let it out. Taking a moment here to check in. Notice the breath. Scan the body with this breath. Notice the sensations. And just allow yourself to arrive into this present moment. Whatever was going on in your day, you can let it go for a little bit, or you can welcome it in and you can let it be here and let it move through you. Whatever feels best and aligned and supportive. This is an opportunity for you to create a moment of calm within the chaos that is going on within us, outside of us. Staying with this deeper breath, softening into the body a little bit. It is okay to soften. It is safe to soften. Our body sometimes tenses up as a form of protection, especially when we are feeling stressed. So whenever you need to, in this practice today, come back to your inhale, come back to your exhale. Come back to your breath as a way to reconnect with yourself, with the practice, with the present moment. Here, you are okay. Nothing else is needed of you except for movement, breath, and connection. Maybe you can start to find a little bit of movement here. A roll of the neck, a gentle roll of the neck. Maybe a shrug of the shoulders and a drop of the shoulders. Inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, drop them down away. And one more just like that. Inhale, drop them up. And exhale, drop them down. Beautiful. Very gently fluttering the eyes open if you haven't already. And you're going to take your left hand to the mat. Walk those fingertips out a little bit. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And on your exhale, lean over to that left side. Coming into a bit of a side body stretch here. So really reaching through those right fingertips. while pulling that right shoulder down the back. Navel's gently drawing in to protect the spine, and maybe you can gaze underneath that top arm. Just be mindful that right seat bone isn't peeling off the mat. Inhale, lift yourself back up, grounding those right fingertips down and away from you. Inhale, reach that left arm up. On your exhale, you're going to lean over to that right side. And again, shoulder drawing down the back. Maybe gazing up under that top arm. In any moment you feel called to close your eyes, that's available to you as well. I find it helps me tune out everything outside of me and really turn inwards. So maybe that feels supportive when we are in moments of stillness to really connect with you. Very gently rising back up. We're going to take that left hand behind us, right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and on your exhale, find a twist. So really wringing out, rinsing out anything from today that is no longer going to serve you. And then gently coming back through center, you're going to take that right hand behind you, left hand to the outside of the right knee. Tall spine first on your inhale. On your exhale, twist a little deeper. So maybe even pressing into the outside of the knee or working towards gazing over that back shoulder. As you breathe in, get a little taller. As you breathe out, twist a little deeper, rinsing out, wringing out like a wet towel. When you wring out a wet towel and all those little drops of water fall, just imagine yourself as a wet towel, and all those little droplets of water are little droplets of energy that we no longer need to hold on to. And very gently coming back through center, bringing the hands to the tops of the knees, and we're just going to take a few circles to kind of start to get into the hips a little bit here. So if you're not cross-legged, invitation to come cross-legged. You could also bring feet to touch, knees open wide, whatever feels best for you. And moving towards the right side first, you go to the right, forward, across, and then back, little round in the spine. Shift through, take some circles. You're going to inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. One more. Inhale forward, exhale back. Other direction. Let's come back through center. You're going to go to the left and then back to the right. Inhale forward, exhale back. Start to find some flow, some movement. Inhale, connecting breath and body. Exhale. Beautiful. One more. Coming back through center, we're going to rock over the hips and we're going to come into a tabletop position. So your shoulders are going to stack over the wrists, hips are going to stack over the knees. You might tuck the toes, and on your inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. On your exhale, push the mat away, tuck the chin of the chest, round the spine. Inhale, open up, create space. Exhale, push away, hug in. So again, eyes might close. Continuing to move and flow with the breath. And maybe you start to invite in any other movement that feels good. So without thinking about it, just letting the body take the lead, letting the body guide you. It might look like a circle or a roll or a shift in any direction. Elbows might bend. It doesn't matter what you look like. It just matters what you feel. So trust the body to know. Trust the breath to guide you. Getting into all those sticky little spaces. Maybe you just stay with your cat-cow. Let's take 2 more breaths. Giving yourself permission here with this final breath to take up even more space today. Coming back to a neutral spine, you're going to bring your knees wide, your toes to touch, and your hips towards your heels. Bow to rest, child's pose. You can ground down the forehead. Again, maybe eyes closed. Really finding that deeper breath. So you can allow your body to soften. When we can release tension in the body, we can release tension in the mind. Let those hips sink towards the heels. Then walking your hands to the left edge of the mat. Right hand might cross over top of left, and as you breathe in, can you feel that extension in the right side body? As you breathe out, keep drawing that right seat bone down. Walking your hands all the way over to the right edge of the mat. Left hand might cross over top of right. And again, inhale, breathe into that left side body. Get long. Exhale. Sink that left seat bone down. Coming back through center. You're going to lift your hips up, and as you do that, tuck your toes and take your hips up and back, finding a downward facing dog. So you might start to walk your dog out once you get here. A bend into one knee, a bend into the other knee. And then when you're ready, finding stillness in this shape. So your heels might not draw all the way towards the mat. They might not touch the mat. That's okay. You might have a bend in the knees so you can get a little longer in the spine, really lifting through your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Can you let the head hang nice and loose between the biceps? Inhale, lift the heels. On your exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands, step forward, find a forward fold at the top of your mat. Now you might keep a bend in the knees here. Grab opposite elbows, take a rag doll. Just let yourself hang. Let yourself hang. Maybe let yourself sway. Let the head be loose. You can shake the head yes, you can shake the head no. Just hang, just sway. There's no rush. You have time. Let this practice be about slowing down, reconnecting, reminding yourself that here you are okay. Releasing the hands to the mat, keeping a bend in the knees. You're going to start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Rolling up to stand. Your head is going to be the last thing that comes up. And then draw the shoulders down the back. Palms are going to face forward. Spread the fingers wide. Lift the 10 toes. Eyes can close. Can you really root down in all four corners of both feet? Lengthen through the crown of your head, top of your head. Reach it to the sky. Feel the expansion across your collarbones, your heart space. And take a few deep breaths. Here, you are safe. Here, you are okay. Everything else can wait. You deserve to take care of yourself. You deserve to slow down. You deserve to connect. Everything else can wait. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center and then down alongside the body. So we're going to do that again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Be big, be bold, take up space. Exhale, hands come down through heart center and then down alongside the body. Inhale, reach the arms up. This time on your exhale, sit back into a chair. Beautiful. Really rooting down in those heels, little tuck of the tailbone, navel tugging in. So we're going to come into a nice clearing, powerful breath. On your exhale, you're going to sweep your arms back and just find a little bounce in the knees. The knees are going to stay bent. So on your exhale, you go, ha. On your inhale, ground down, rise up, stand tall. Exhale, ha. Rise up, stand tall. Exhale, ha. So we're going to do that a few more times. Ha. Ha. A few more times. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, inhale, lift. Let it go. Exhale, inhale, lift. One more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, down alongside the body, and take a moment to feel, to breathe and feel with the body, not with the mind. We don't need to analyze anything or make sense of anything. Let the energy flow. Trust the breath, trust the body. Giving yourself permission to release whatever is no longer going to serve you. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Ground the hands. Step the feet back. Now you might keep knees lifted. Modification, drop the knees down. Exhale, you lower. Elbows graze the ribs. Untuck the toes, tops of the feet press into the mat. Inhale, peel the heart up. Cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, lower down. You're going to take your right ear to the mat and you're going to bring your right arm out into a T. We're going to open up onto our right hip. Now, you might stay here, legs stacked. Maybe it feels better for you to pick up that top foot, bend in your knee and ground that left foot behind you. Finding deeper breaths. Your deeper breath is going to remind the body that it's safe and okay to let go a little more, to release some of that tension. That deeper breath is going to give you deeper access to yourself, to everything that lives within you. This breath is the vehicle that shifts the energy, that gets it flowing, moving through the body so that we can eventually let go of what no longer serves us. Maybe that is the stress. Maybe that is the worry. A friend of mine told me something her professor told her once, and it's that worry are simply stories that we tell ourselves of things that haven't happened yet. So it's not truth. That worry, it is not truth. Coming back through center, take your left ear to the mat, left arm into a T, right hand beside the chest bone, open up onto your left hip. You can keep legs stacked or pick up that top foot, bend the knee, drop it behind you. And again, coming into that deeper breath. Softening into the shoulder, the arm, the heart space. Coming back through center, hover the forehead, hands beside the chest bones. Inhale, heart lifts. On your exhale, tuck your toes, take your hips up and back. Find your down dog. Bring your toes to touch. Inhale, lift that right leg up. On your exhale, bend the knee, open the hip, heel drops towards the glute. Make sure we're not dumping into that left shoulder. We want to keep shoulders nice and square to the mat. If it feels okay for you to find a few circles with that right knee to open up the hip a little more, beautiful. We tend to hold a lot of energy and emotion in our hips. So exhale, take your knee towards the nose. and place the foot between the hands. You're going to drop that back knee down and toe heel that right foot to the edge of the mat. Bringing your right hand to the instep of the foot, finding our lizard shape. So you might stay here, knee over ankle, shoulders over wrists. Maybe you open up onto your knife edge, the knife edge of your front foot. Foot can stay flexed to protect the joints. If you have that stable prop like a block, you can always bring the earth a little bit closer. That's always there to support you. If dropping down onto your forearms feels okay for you, that's available too. Now, we don't want to force anything today. We don't want to push ourselves too deep too quickly. We get to move and breathe at a pace that serves us. And today, maybe that's a little slower. Sometimes when we're really stressed, we got to slow down, which is maybe the opposite of what you think you want, but definitely something that we need in these moments, something that can be very supportive. So finding that deeper breath, again, you might close the eyes to really tune into the body, to get present, to drop in a little deeper. Beautiful. Coming back up onto the palms if you're not already there. Folding that knee in if you haven't already. Toe heel your foot to center. And I tend to have really tight hip flexors, so I like to step that back knee forward a little bit. We're going to come into a low lunge. When you're ready, inhale, rise up to your low lunge. So front knee can be over ankle. Shoulders will soften from the ears. We want to be mindful we're not giving into that low back arch that sometimes likes to happen when we try to sink deeper into this. It's not about how deep you can get into it. Instead, find a little tuck of the ribs under so we can find that little tuck of the tailbone to protect our low back. You might notice that hip flexor and quad feel a little tighter when we do this. You can always step that back knee in. Beautiful. On your exhale, open up the arms into a cactus shape. Spread the fingers wide. Pull the forearms away from each other. Really take up space here. Now you might stay like this. Maybe you start to lift the heart, the gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe you drop those elbows back a little more. Feel that expansion across the heart space. Still drawing those hips down and forward. Inhale, reach the arms up, tuck the ribs under, come back to center, grab hold of that left wrist. Exhale, lean over to your right side. It might be a little bit, it might be a lot, kind of like we did in our seated side bend. Maybe gazing under that top arm. Make sure the navel is gently drawing in. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hands are going to frame that front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Inhale, reach that right leg up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, take your right knee behind your right wrist, ankle behind the left wrist. We're lowering down into our pigeon shape. Now, if you have really tight hips or you're feeling tight today, you can take a block, your pillow, your bolster, whatever prop you have, and bring it underneath that right seat bone to keep the hips nice and even to support you a little bit more. What we don't want to do is dump all of our weight into that right side. Staying upright for a little bit, take a breath in, lengthen through the spine. You might stay here today, beautiful. Maybe you can start to fold, hinging at the hips, dropping down onto forearms. Again, you might have a prop there that you can use underneath the forearms to bring the earth a little bit closer. Maybe you can bring your forearms to the mat and you use a prop to release the forehead to that prop. If it's available to you, you can release your forehead to your fists, to your palms, top of the hands. And once you settle into the variation of the shape that you choose for this side of your body, maybe eyes closed. Find that deeper breath again, that breath that is going to support you.
Giving yourself permission to let go. If the mind wanders, that's okay. Sometimes when we're stressed and we have a lot on our plate, a lot on our mind, a lot flowing through us, it can be challenging to stay present, and that's okay. Every time you do notice, every time you are able to tap into awareness of that, bring yourself back. And at the beginning, it might be a constant. Noticing, oh, I'm here again. Let me bring myself back. 30 seconds later, oh, I'm here again. I need to bring myself back. A minute later, oh, I'm here again. I need to bring myself back. And I know it can be exhausting to do a lot of conscious, mindful work. Keep going. Keep going. That is why we slow down, to give ourselves the opportunity to practice with more space, with more time, to pour back into our cup so we can reconnect, recharge, so that we have more energy to take care of ourselves, to do the work, to make more mindful decisions. Very gently, lifting up, grounding down the palms. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, take that right foot back to meet the left, and take a little walk of the dog. So bend into one knee, bend into the other knee. Maybe notice the difference between the sides, if there is any, and then find some stillness in this shape. Bring your toes to touch. Inhale, lift up your left leg. On your exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Heel drops towards the glute. Again, shoulders stay square to the mat. Maybe you want to take a few circles with that left knee. Lubricate that left hip a little bit. And then when you're ready, you're going to exhale. Take your left knee towards your nose. Place the foot between your hands. It's okay if it takes you a couple steps to get there as well. Drop that back knee down and then toe heel that left foot to the edge of the mat. Bringing your left hand to the instep of the foot. We're in that lizard shape. So you might stay here. Beautiful. Breathing into the hip, breathing into that back hip flexor as well. Maybe you open up onto the knife edge of your front foot. You can stay here. You always have that option to drop down onto your forearms with or without a prop. And of course, if there's a variation of this shape that I don't mention that you'd rather come into, beautiful. Beautiful. You get to honor that as well. This is your practice. My guidance is always here as a suggestion, but it is not mandatory. You know your body better than anybody. And when we do slow down and we have this opportunity to connect with our body, the sensation, the physical self, we really have this opportunity to listen, to hear what it is telling us it needs, because our body is always communicating with us. Always, always, always. And our emotions communicate with us through our body. Energy communicates with us through our body. Very gently rising back up, folding that knee in, toe heel the foot to center. Now, maybe step that back knee in if you think you need to. If not, that's okay. When you're ready, you're going to rise up and find that low lunge. Hips draw down and forward, tucking those ribs under, softening the shoulders. Really root down in all four corners of that front foot and magnetize your front heel and your back knee in towards one another. On your next exhale, you're going to open up the arms into that cactus shape. So wrists over elbows, elbows in line with shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. You get to take up space. Give yourself more space. Create more room so that you can feel, so that the energy and emotion can find that flow and have room to move through you. Maybe you want to lift the heart, the gaze, drop the elbows back, come into a little bit more of a back bend. We want to feel this in the upper back between the shoulder blades, not in the low back. Inhale, reach the arms up, tuck the ribs under, grab hold of that right wrist. On your exhale, lean over to the left, making sure the shoulder's still drawing down. You might gaze underneath that top arm. If not, that's okay too.
Your breath and your body get to help you create space so that you can handle whatever stressors life is throwing your way. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands are going to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Take your left leg up and out on your inhale. And then on your exhale, take that left knee behind the left wrist and the ankle behind the right wrist, lowering down into that pigeon shape. So again, you might support yourself with a block or a prop. Hips are nice and even. Spine is long. Inhale, reach to the crown of the head. Exhale, you can hinge at the hips and start to fold. Again, option to bring forearms to a block or a prop, forehead to a block or a prop. Right away, coming into that deeper breath, maybe eyes closed, and just take a moment to feel into the spaces of the body that are calling for your breath. Letting yourself melt a little deeper into the shape. No force. Feel the body get a little heavier. Allowing whatever flows through you, whatever wants to be seen, heard, and felt today, to be seen, heard, and felt today, to be held in this space. Give it permission. Give yourself permission. Very gently, you're going to rise back up onto the palms. You're going to tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, take that left foot back to meet the right. Find your down dog, and then again, take a little walk of the dog, bending into one knee, bending into the other knee, and finding stillness. Bend both knees, look to the hands, step through to a seated position. Bringing your legs out in front of you, you're going to take a bend into your left knee, bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, and on your exhale, you're going to hinge and fold over top of that right leg. Now, you might bring the hands along on either side of the leg and start to walk them down the mat, or to the top of the leg and start to walk them down the leg. If you are at the foot, you can grab the ball of the foot. We want to keep the foot nice and flexed here for this hamstring stretch. If it feels supportive to have a bend in that right knee, that's available to you as well. You want to be mindful of that low back. We want to have a long spine and then fold. Think heart to knee, nose to toes. Beautiful. Gently lifting the chest up. Extending your left leg long, bending into your right knee, sole of the foot to the inside of that left thigh. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. On your exhale, hinge and fold. Again, whatever variation best serves this side of your body. And remember, both sides of our body are unique. They are different to one another. If they need something different, that's okay. Maybe you modify one side and not the other. And that's where slowing down and listening, feeling will really support us. When we are stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, worried, scared, slowing down to check in is so powerful, because then we can honor what we need. When we know what's going on, when we understand what we feel, when we're present with it, we can then better show up for ourselves. Very gently rising up. Keep your right leg bent. You're going to bend into your left leg. Bring the soles of the feet to touch, knees to open wide. You can interlace your hands around the toes. And I'm going to get us to stay upright for a moment. Invitation to close your eyes. Curl the corners of your mouth up into a smile. Even if it feels really hard, I know sometimes on a stressful day, when we're angry and frustrated, we're sad and scared and overwhelmed, smiling might feel difficult. I do want you to tap into a little bit of force if it's feeling hard and curl the corners of your mouth up into a smile. It might feel silly. Smile with teeth. Smile with teeth. And then I want you to flap your knees like butterfly wings. I remember we used to do this in kinder gym, but I feel like a smile and butterfly wings just feels kind of magical. It does feel kind of silly, especially if you're having a hard day, but what better medicine than nurturing your inner child in a moment like this? Find some stillness with the knees. You can keep the smile. Find a taller spine. Inhale. On your exhale, hinge and fold. You might press the elbows into the knees or even walk the hands forward if you want to get a little deeper. Melting into it. Very gently lift the chest. Close the knees like you're closing the pages of a book. And we're going to make sure that our prop is within reach for when we're lying down. So put it halfway down your mat. If you have a block, a bolster, a pillow, a rolled up blanket, whatever it is that you grab for yourself, you might want to scooch down a little bit because we're going to come onto our back. So keep the feet grounded, reach the arms out in front of you, and you're going to slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time, coming onto your back. And once you get there, you're going to walk the heels in a little bit closer, keeping the knees bent. You can bring your arms into a cactus shape. Toe heel the feet nice and wide. And then find a little windshield wipe of the knee. So dropping them to one side. Oops, you might need to move your prop if it's in the way. And then coming back through center on your inhale and dropping to the other side. Inhale back to center and exhale to the left or whatever side you didn't just do. Back to center and then over to the other side. So coming back through center, toe heel the feet in a little bit closer together so they're about hip distance apart. You're going to go ahead and grab your prop. You're going to press into the feet, lift the hips up slightly off the mat, and slide your block at the lowest height or your pillow or your bolster or your blanket underneath the hips. Release your sacrum to this prop. Here, so your sacrum is the top of the hips, base of the spine, right where they meet. Arms are alongside the body, palms open, heart open, maybe eyes closed, and just take a moment in this supported bridge. A couple deeper breaths. And then gently, you're going to extend your legs up towards the ceiling. If that feels okay for you, if not, you can stay in your supported bridge. Now, we don't want to flex or engage anything, so you might have a little bend in the knees, let the ankles be loose. Just stay here for a few breaths. This posture is great for soothing the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest. Great for calming down the body and the nervous system. Just be present with the sensations that you're noticing in the body. And again, just notice them, just observe them. We don't need to give meaning to every feeling. But you are allowed to feel whatever it is that you feel. Bending into the knees and gently dropping the feet one at a time or at the same time, and just stay in your supported bridge for another breath or two so we can let that blood flow recirculate in a normal direction. And then gently lift the hips, remove the prop, and hug the knees into your chest. Pick your shoulders up off the mat, wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a big, big hug, a big, big squeeze. Say, I love you. You are safe, you are okay, and then slowly lower down into your final shape of rest. Whatever that looks like for you today, Shavasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of feet can touch, knees can open wide, or starfish, just take up a lot of space. Eyes can close. And again, just let the body melt. Let it sink heavy into the mat. Let yourself be so fully held by the ground beneath you. Maybe noticing the different spaces in the body that are connected to the ground. Sink a little deeper there. Release tension in the jaw. Release any tension between the eyebrows. Find an effortless breath. And just remember that it is okay to have a stressful day or a stressful moment. You are human. It's going to happen. And sometimes the best thing we can do is not resist it, is to just let it happen, is to let yourself feel and express, but to know and to hold on to the knowing that it's temporary, that it will pass. And the best thing you can do for yourself is take a moment or a few moments to slow down, to check in, to honor what you need. Everything else can wait. And maybe if we take these moments to slow down, to check in and honor what we need, we can go back to doing the thing with less stress, with less worry, and we might get through it quicker, or we might complete it quicker, with more ease, with more calm, with more joy, whatever it is. You can stay here as long as you would like to. There is no rush to close your practice. Maybe you feel rested and you want to hang out a little longer, reflect, or send yourself some extra love and gratitude. If you do want to finish your practice with me, find a little movement. Wiggle of the fingers and toes, a gentle rock of the neck. Maybe one last big stretch, maybe one last big clearing breath. Inhale. Big sigh. Coming up to seated in whatever way serves you. Bringing your hands to heart center. Eyes closed. Thumbs touch heart. Sending yourself lots of love and gratitude for choosing this moment to show up for yourself, to slow down, to connect, to breathe, to move. That is your superpower. And I thank you so much for letting me be a part of your journey and allowing me to guide you through this practice. So, so grateful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you on the mat again soon.